So we talk about the wide receivers. Kupp and Chase, they were great during the regular season. They have continued to shine during the postseason. They each have a pair of 100-yard games. Do we expect that run to continue, Ross?
Well, I'm not taking Cooper Kupp under. I mean, I've watched him play too many games this year. I'm not doing that. It's a really high number, 104.5. You never see a number that high. But the guy has been as automatic this year as any receiver ever. I'm not taking the under. That would be a miserable game to watching and taking the Cooper Kupp under, because you're just a couple plays away from losing that bet. I don't know that I'm all over the over, but I'm definitely not taking the under. Chase is interesting. I know Jalen Ramsey said, put me on the best guy, I'll go. That's just not what they've done, though. It's not what the Rams have done this year. I don't think that is what they'll do. And I do think that's the Bengals' best chance for success is if Ramsey's in the slot and they go with one single high safety middle of the field, just throwing it up to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins on the outside against the Rams corners. So I would kind of lean over for both these guys, top level guys, Chase and Kupp.
Yeah, the Rams have a fascinating defensive strategy. They don't like to stack the box. They don't like to commit guys in there on early downs. That's why, maybe on early downs, the Bengals will have a little more success running the ball, but that could also be a disguise. They like to play a lot of zone, and they like to let Ramsey drift, and we'll see what the matchups do look like. On the Rams side, I'm fascinated at these matchups. Kupp in the slot on Hilton's going to be great. I think Awuzie has a plus matchup on Odell. I think that cancels each other out a little bit. He's their top cover corner on the outside. And what that does is it sets up a matchup potentially with Van Jefferson going up against Eli Apple. And I love Van Jefferson in that matchup. That is a matchup where I think Van can have some success, especially deep down the field. And this might surprise you, but yards per reception this year, Jefferson has significantly higher average than Cooper Kupp and Odell. 16 yards per reception this year for Jefferson. Kupp's at 13.5. Odell's in the mid-11s. And I think that's an over long receptions prop dream bet right there at 17.5 for Van Jefferson. There will be at least one deep shot where he tests Eli Apple in this game. Maybe it turns out to be a DPI. That's been an issue for him this year. But I think Van Jefferson has the sneaky good matchup of the three Rams wide receivers in this game.
All right, let's go over some other receiving digits that are out there. OBJ is coming off his best game in years, it feels like. His first 100-yard effort as a Ram. What do you think with the number that's up there, Ross?
Yeah, it's 61.5 receiving yards for Odell Beckham Jr. I don't know. That's a good number. I mean, let's be honest. These are almost all good numbers. I do think that this is a showcase game for him. So I would probably lean over, but I feel like I'm leaning over too much. I will say this. I'll lean under on Jared's Van Jefferson there. They just haven't thrown the ball very much. I'll go over on Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, I think volume is the issue with Jefferson. He's coming off of a game where he didn't have a ton of volume. I agree. I'm kind of torn on Odell. I think Awuzie wins that matchup. I think if that's the matchup that it is for most of the game, I think Awuzie can have some success out there. But Odell's certainly capable of going over. Higgins at 69.5. I mean, if the coverage, again, rolls towards zone and Burrow just feeds whoever's open, you're getting a much more favorable number on Higgins than you are on Jamar Chase. And Higgins had a tremendous AFC Championship game. Pirine at 10.5. That's a game script bet. Same with Joe Mixon, 3.5 total receptions. If game script dictates the Rams are ahead and the Bengals are throwing it a lot, you'll see a lot of Pirine out of the backfield. You'll see a lot of Mixon out of the backfield. So I would lean over on those two guys. But I agree. I am feeling a little over heavy. Most of the props stay under. I know in our head we like to bet overs, but most of the props in the Super Bowl stay under. It's all about picking your spots, right?
All right, a couple of things here real quickly. I want to touch on T. Higgins just to give people some context here. Since week 12, only two receivers are averaging more yards per game than T. Higgins. It's Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson. 95 yards per game. The other thing is we talked about the Bengals running backs in terms of receiving yards and number of receptions. Ross, they went screen heavy against Kansas City. Do you see them doing the same against the Rams?
Yes, I do. because that's a way to slow down the D-line. That's a way to help out the offensive line. I like the Samaje Perine over 10.5 receiving yards. I don't know about Mixon getting more than 3 catches. I don't like that one. I would go under on the volume there for Mixon, but I think Perine catches a screen pass, maybe 2, and hits the 10.5 pretty easily. That's one I like a lot.
Is it just me, or does Samaje Perine look like he's about 63 and is like a retired power lifter?
No, I can see that on the face for sure.
Right?
I
By the way,
also
don't
feel
tell him
like
I said that.
I also feel like if I'm not sure who a team's backup running back is, I just say Perine. I'm like, yeah, I mean, look, Fournette can have a good game, but Perine